Hello everyone, welcome back to Remind, knowledge-sharing channel self-development through good books. This week, I want to share with you an incredibly valuable book. This book is called, the masterpiece is called Walden Live in the Woods by American writer, poet, and philosopher Henry David Thoreau. There is someone who never lets the world decide their pace. In 1833, there was a remarkable young man named Henry David Thoreau. He was admitted to Harvard University, and whenever he had free time, he would write essays and submit them to newspapers. He did this purely out of passion, not for fame, grades, or recognition. Thoreau read countless books, yet he refused to walk the well-trodden paths of others. Instead, he chose to live in his own way, to follow his own rhythm. He lived in an era when the American economy was rapidly rising in the 19th century, a time when the nation was marching toward industrial civilization. In that age, everyone seemed to be racing through life. Some seized opportunities and soared like kites in the wind, amassing wealth and becoming leaders of their time. Others stuck with their family businesses, and though they struggled, they did not fall behind. Some gave up the race entirely and returned to farming in the countryside. Yet many, despite their hardest efforts, were left behind. To most people back then, Thoreau was one of those left behind, a poor, pitiful man who could never move forward. After graduating, he became a journalist, but his manuscripts were often rejected by the editor-in-chief. Later, he and his brother founded a private school which eventually went bankrupt. He then worked at his father's pencil factory. In this job, he achieved remarkable success. After improving the process, he created a new type of pencil that had never existed before. This could have made him rich, but Thoreau chose not to expand production. He decided to stop. To him, spending every day doing the same repetitive work just for money was unbearable. He did not want to be chained by the desire for a fancy home or a luxurious meal. As others around him grew wealthier, Thoreau became poorer, to the point where he couldn't even pay his rent. Whenever someone advised him to learn from others, he firmly replied, "I would rather sit on a pumpkin and have it all to myself than be crowded on a velvet cushion." To Thoreau, the most important thing in life was not to surpass others or to compare oneself with friends. Success, as most people define it, does not necessarily bring true happiness. What truly matters is finding our own rhythm, the tempo that belongs only to us, because he never walked to the rhythm of others, because he refused to let social norms confine him. Henry David Thoreau became who he was, a writer, poet, naturalist, philosopher, and a pioneer of transcendentalism. He was a thinker who explored the harmony between nature and human life, and one of the few American authors whose influence extended far beyond the 20th century, beloved by readers around the world. Walk to the rhythm of your own steps. At the age of 28, while most people were chasing money and material possessions, Thoreau gave it all up. With a borrowed axe in hand, he journeyed to the pine forest by Walden Pond. There he chopped wood, built a cabin, and cleared the wild land. It was from this very place that he beheld the breathtaking scenery of Walden Pond for himself. He spent a long time building his home, entirely alone with just an axe. Every day, returning from the forest, he would hear the skylark singing joyously along the path. In winter, he chopped timber for necessary supplies. When spring arrived, the frame of his house was finally completed. Using some of his savings to buy necessary wood, Thoreau began decorating the interior of his humble cabin. And so, with his own two hands, without haste, without pressure, yet without laziness, he slowly and peacefully built a home of his own. For the next 2 years, he kept company with mountains, rivers, and the stars. He conversed with the birds of the sky, the pond, and the fish. Thoreau's thoughts soared freely within the tranquility of nature and a life of simplicity. Ultimately, these reflections were crystallized into his classic work, Walden, or Life in the Woods, a serene pond, or a self-built log cabin surrounded by forests accompanied by birdsong. Thoreau's life at Walden Pond has touched the hearts of countless readers worldwide. Walden has influenced American literature, social movements, and simultaneously impacted innumerable modern individuals yearning for a life of peace and quiet. He once said, "Men have become the tools of their tools." He also stated, "If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. On the path of life, which is like a marathon, everyone is running in different directions at varying paces. Some find success early, some bloom very late. Some live an ordinary life, and others are eliminated from the race quite soon. Dreams, abilities, ideologies, or sheer luck can all be variables that set you apart from others. We can never be in perfect sync with everyone, nor can we always advance or retreat in unison with others. And if you constantly worry about how far I've come, or how much I've achieved, we might miss our own rhythm. Only by moving at your own pace, living well within your own steps, can we steadfastly weather the storms and reach the beautiful new lands within our own lives. Step into your own rhythm to persevere through challenges. When Thoreau first arrived at Walden Pond, countless difficulties lay before him. His primary challenge was survival in this desolate wilderness. While building his cabin, he expended tremendous energy each day, chopping wood and hauling materials from dawn. Yet his finances were meager, leaving little time for cultivation. Daily, he sustained himself merely on cornmeal and purslane. Local villagers advised against his solitary life, insisting one couldn't survive without bread or pork. "How could you obtain such things in these woods?" they questioned. Yet Thoreau demonstrated that even with only corn and greens, he could thrive. In truth, his greatest trial wasn't starvation, but the relentless winter. The lakeside winter spanned 3 to 4 months, during which heavy snow transformed Thoreau's wooden cabin into an icebox. Still, he devised numerous ways to withstand the cold, venturing into snow-blanketed forests to gather aged logs for round-the-clock fires and plastering cracks with mud to fortify his shelter. Throughout those sparsely visited winter nights, they will walk in their own rhythm, without panic or impatience, undisturbed by the world's clamor, unafraid and unwavering in the face of adversity. Whatever path you choose, whatever life you envision, you cannot escape fate's trials. Our task is to cultivate resilient hearts, maintain inner calm, and summon the courage to persist steadfastly on our chosen journey. Steps in harmony lead to happiness. In his book, Thoreau vividly recounts one summer morning when he drifted peacefully in a small boat across the placid lake. Reaching the center, he lay back and unknowingly slipped into slumber. Awakening to find the current had nudged his boat ashore, he declared his heart as free as a bird. Despite Walden's hardships, Thoreau discovered unprecedented serenity and joy. Each day brought visitors from nature, sometimes a flower-scented breeze, sometimes a timid sparrow, other times a foolish stray rabbit. Whenever he entered the forest, primordial vitality awakened within him. As night descended, the distant lowing of cattle would be followed by barking dogs, whispering winds, and flowing waters, nature's symphony ensuring he never felt lonely even in the deepest solitude. Thoreau confessed in his writings with unrestrained emotion, "My heart is free. Joy and happiness overflow in my home." In this liberated state, he began meditating, contemplating philosophy, observing the outer world, while simultaneously exploring his inner truth. He read voraciously, wrote prolifically, and conversed with profound thinkers. His lakeside sojourn reshaped his very being. He was no failure achieving nothing, nor a recluse escaping society, but rather someone living fully, like a tree sinking deep roots into earth while perpetually reaching for the vast sky. Epilogue: Find your own rhythm. Thoreau's story recalls Haruki Murakami's words, "No matter what people around the world say, I trust only my own feelings. Whatever others may think, I'll never break my rhythm. What we love naturally endures. What we dislike can never persist. Thus, only by pursuing your passions can you find true, lasting happiness. If every step merely replicates others' lives, even apparent success won't bring genuine joy, meaning, or spiritual freedom. Therefore, you must know yourself clearly, perceive your soul from the outset, discard external interference, and chart your unique path." A reader once wrote to Thoreau, wishing to emulate his solitary natural life. Surprisingly, Thoreau firmly declined, stating, "Everyone should follow their own heart and live as their unique self." This reflects his book's purpose, hoping each person becomes their own Columbus. While the historical Columbus discovered new continents, we must each find our own inner continent to inhabit and cherish. No two leaves are identical, just as no two people are exact duplicates. Only by walking our distinct paths can we live truly happy, meaningful lives. As a scientist once noted, the finest things often arrive unexpectedly. So don't rush to keep pace, move to your own rhythm, and you'll progress steadily through each day. A final message for you. Thoreau lived by the lake for only 2 years, and I'm sure many wonder, so he eventually gave up on his own rhythm after all. But Thoreau explained his departure with the same conviction as his arrival, because he wanted to experience multiple lives. He chose not to devote more time to that particular chapter. There's a truth that we often slip into certain routines unknowingly, gradually stepping into well-worn paths. When we become too accustomed to our current joys, successes, or lifestyles, we easily fall into old patterns. Countless footprints mark the Earth's surface, and the paths of thought are no different. The world's major roads have been worn dusty, deeply grooved by traditions and conventions. Through his life experiment, the author discovered at least this: if a person advances confidently in the direction of their dreams and endeavors to live the life they've imagined, they can achieve unexpected success in their lifetime. This means you don't necessarily need to follow in successful people's footsteps. You can entirely choose a different path to live the life you truly desire. Why? Do we lower our soul's standards to live with mundane thoughts and repetitive tasks, calling it social consensus and deeming it the right path? Why must we desperately pursue careers merely to chase success, fame, or just to make money? As someone wisely noted, all work done just for survival isn't worth wasting our lives on. Upon reflection, this rings profoundly true. A life reality is that if someone strains to keep pace with peers, it might be because they've heard the drumbeat of competition, feeling compelled to catch up to fulfill some external need. These steps originate from molded thinking in our conditioned lives. We've draped everything around us with shapes and symbols, but ultimately, only truth gives us meaning, and only truth withstands time's tests. The fundamental question remains, are you genuinely happy with your current life? No matter how humble your circumstances, live fully and well in your own rhythm. Never escape, complain, or lament. However difficult, pour your passion into the present. Even in confined spaces, you can discover joy and illuminating light. As Confucius counseled, don't be too impatient seeking growth, nor rely excessively on external forces. All is futile. Wealth buys only superfluities, while what the soul needs costs nothing. Walden life in the woods will undoubtedly evoke different emotions in each of us. We needn't fully agree nor require universal approval. But if you harbor resentment, dissatisfaction with what you have, pressure from desires, uncertainty about pursued goals, or confusion about your next step, I believe immersing yourself in this text will help you find your own tranquil Walden Pond. Finally, the author's closing words offer deep reflection. Only if we awaken will the dawn come. The days are long and the sun is but a morning star. In annotations, the morning star symbolizes our guiding direction. Thoreau hoped we might all explore new paths with our own steps and experience completely different lives, because life depends not on how much we have, but on the experiences we gather. May we all step out of ruts, find what we genuinely love, and live well in our own rhythm. Thank you for listening. Goodbye and see you in the next videos.